Hi, and welcome back to Pushbox Banter. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Craig, and today we're going to talk about F1 and all that implies. So,
Yeah.
this week we don't have a race, but we've got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff to talk about, some impacts from last week and things moving forward. Next weekend, we've got another race coming up.
Here in the States.
It's getting tight. Yeah.
Yeehaw. Jeez.
Yes.
Yes.
Something along those lines if you're going to Southern
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
We're in Texas.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that you have to go Southern Cowboy and say yeehaw and stuff like
Right.
that.
Okay.
That's my official stance on this. I'm born and raised in Texas. I'm a Texas man. Yes. So, what
Yeah.
do we got?
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we have lots of things. We have Red Bull, Max Verstappen
Yes.
showing off.
Yes, he
We
did.
have some, I don't know what you would call this, but we have McLaren pulling a Ferrari, really, with their drivers. And we have other good things in the news, like Christian Horner, F1 girlfriends, a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, let's talk
Yeah.
let's talk about one of my favorite topipics in F1.
It's Max Verstappen.
Yes.
Yeah. It's your favorite driver, Craig. Yes, we know.
It is. It is. I'm glad that you asked that. Now that you brought it up, let's talk about it more. Yeah.
Let's talk about him.
Okay.
I mean, one of a kind, really. Like
Your words and mine.
Yeah, no, really. I don't know where he gets, where he pulls it from, but he's always right there, even in tracks that aren't that, like, historically Red Bull aren't that good at.
Yeah.
So we saw that last week in Singapore, and we missed you, Craig. Where were you?
I know.
But yeah, they pulled off a nice P2, solid P2. If they would have had a better qualifying, they might have won it. But yeah, he's still in the race. He's a couple points off of the championship for the drivers, and he's going to be a challenge for McLaren.
Yeah. So, I mean, such good stuff with him.
Yeah.
He was close. I don't know how close, but he was fairly close to come. He gets second in quali, and so fairly close to getting first. But doesn't have a great launch in the race. But he still is pretty good. Norris kind of touches the back of him a little bit on the front. I wonder how much that it was going to impact him. But as the race plays out, he just keeps knocking them out.
Yeah.
He's on softs. Everybody else at the top's on mediums, and he keeps going. Has to pit early, but everything works out for their favor. He doesn't get undercut. And then the end of the race, he's like for about 10 laps or so, the last part of the race, Norris is right there behind him, threatening, trying to pass, and he can't pass him. He holds him off, and it was impressive, I thought.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And he lapped Yuki.
Yeah, Andy lapped Yuki, which is, it's pretty amazing. But he's so far above and beyond. It's crazy. But the thing that really, like what you mentioned, is Singapore is historically a bad track for Red Bull. They typically never do well. Max has never won there. And here he is coming in second. And he legitimately, a lot of the analysis and his race pace, if he had gotten in pole position, he probably would have stayed there and probably would have won the race. It was his pace was that good, and it wasn't that much slower than Russell's. So, yeah, he was knocking it out.
That's right.
It's so cool, though, with some of the stuff that they've done and that they've changed with Menkes. And all of the interviews with Menkes are like, hey, Red Bull, it's nothing. And Menkes is very humble about it. He's not taking any credit for any of the wins or any of the success. He's all giving all the success to the engineers and to Max Verstappen. And they're allowing Max to have a larger say in the setup of the car. And it's paid off in big dividends. They've made a couple of upgrades as well, and it's put the car in a better operating window. And man, he's flying.
Yeah. Is it a Menkes effect?
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, even it's funny. Even Helmut Marko, when they bring up Menkes' comments to him, he laughs because he's like, "Oh, that's complete rubbish." It is. Menkes has changed up how he's doing things. They actually one of the things that they're doing now is they go into the race with a little bit different strategy. So things are closer to the setup strategy that they're going to go into the race with on Fridays. So they don't have to make as many dramatic changes. So they're pretty close to the setup. So now what we're seeing is like in FP1, FP2, FP3, that those times are a little bit more representative of how they're going to perform versus the other cars. So that's been a big change there, and then just Verstappen, like I mentioned before, Verstappen's input on the race,
Right.
and input on the setup, and then he's just knocking it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
Totally. And I mean, we don't want to discount anything that was like lingering over from like the Horner days and things like that, but they have done some balance updates here and there. So obviously the car is actually getting better as well.
Yeah,
So whatever they're doing or whatever he's allowing them to do or the culture he's building around the team to be able to, I guess, facilitate a better car weekend and week out, then that's what's happening. So good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for them. Yeah.
One of the other things is because he has an engineering background, that he's able to speak in that special little engineering language that is needed.
Yeah.
And so they're getting to the root cause of certain problems or certain questions or certain answers for their performance very quickly and easily. They're able to understand a little bit better on what's going on. It's subtle things like that that make a huge difference. But I mean, when you're talking F1, you're talking this year, the little subtleties is what makes you a champion.
Yeah.
Versus
a 10th here, a 10th
versus
there. Yeah.
a Q1 exit. So
That's right.
it's that
That's
tight
right.
this year.
It is. Speaking about tight challenges this week or last week, right? We had Norris and Piastri. Norris and Piastri had little bumps, and obviously the drivers' championship right now is very, very close. Obviously, we have Max
Right.
that's gaining some points, brought it down from 100 to 63 in 4 races. And then we have our front runner Piastri and of course Norris, right? Given what happened at Singapore, what do you see being in the books for the next couple of races? Like, what do you see that championship looking like in terms of like the drivers' championship?
So COTA is going to be pretty difficult for Red Bull. It's not like a complete they're going to win out every single race. I'd love to see that, but it's going to be tough. McLaren has performed well there in the past. They'll probably continue to perform well, but McLaren I don't believe has any other upgrades left that's coming, and Red Bull seems like they're in a really good position to do well. I really think that they're going to be in it, and Verstappen's going to keep fighting and keep pushing. It wouldn't surprise me if this becomes the greatest comeback of all time.
That
I'd
was
love
my
to call it right now, but I'm not sure how much of that is just my own personal emotion and desire to see that happen, but it would be pretty amazing.
So you're saying you believe Max Verstappen will retain his number 1 and win the drivers' championship?
Yes, I
Wow.
do. I believe in Max Verstappen.
I believe it too.
If there is a chance, he will do it, and he will make it happen.
I believe he will do it because I feel the team dynamics between Norris and Piastri, they're going to end up knocking themselves out of this race.
I think so too. Like, I think that if you had Norris or Piastri and then they had somebody else that was performing further down the grid that wasn't at the very top, Max's chances would be done with. I think it would be pretty much wrapped up.
Right.
But
Interesting.
because of McLaren,
Okay,
and
so
the way they do things,
That's right. So do we think that McLaren is at fault for the challenges with Norris and Piastri and their drivers' championship run right now?
Yes, totally. Like, of course, some of this, like McLaren's goal was to have the Constructors' Championship, which they have achieved that.
Right.
So the side goals were Drivers' Championship after that. So now, but what's weird about this is, like in Italy recently, how they would replace, it's not fair. Let's give Lando this back. And we have the
Right.
all of the memes and everything. And so now Lando makes contact with Oscar, pushes him out of the way. In a normal race, that's A-okay. that's part of
racing
ra-
incident,
It's a
yeah.
racing incident.
Yeah.
No big deal. What makes it questionable is like in the past. I mean, just a few weeks ago, they're saying, "Hey, give the place back.
Right.
You can't do that to our own team." And in this race, it's like, "Oh, nope, it's a racing incident. Let them go."
Yeah.
And that. Honestly, it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem like they're being fair to Piastri.
Right.
And so, one of the things that I think of, I don't know about with you, but I remember Piastri in his Alpine days, and then all of a sudden they're saying, "Oh, he's going to be part of the team," and then he's like, "Nope, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm going someplace else."
That's right.
And I wonder if this will push him to go someplace else outside of McLaren, possibly like who knows where. I mean,
He could go anywhere.
and when. But yeah, anybody
could
would
go
want him
any-
on his team.
Red Bull.
Red Bull would take him. Yeah, I don't know if he'd want that because his car is going to be set up for Max Verstappen. But it would be an opportunity to show how good of a driver he is. Like, could you imagine
He is a great driver.
Yeah.
He's already showed that.
if he goes to Red Bull? I mean, this would be the same type of scenario that they have this year with both of them fighting. But yeah, it would be pretty amazing to watch. And it would also like cement him as a top driver, regardless of how it comes out
Right.
this year.
And at Red Bull, he would know. He would already know. There would be no qualms of being fair. He would know this car is for Max, so just do better.
Yeah.
Like there wouldn't be this expectation of fairness and this and he did this, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to give him the place, and he's going to give me back the place. There's not going to be any of that.
If you're going to be treated like number two all the time, you might as well go to a place that the number one's the best in the world. And if you're number two, you're the number two in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, somebody's going to comment on that, say, "Oh, what about Lewis Hamilton?" That's fine. It's fair. You got your argument. But current day today,
Yeah,
two best in the world, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
I know
agree.
Lando's in between there on points, and I know a lot of people love Lando.
Yeah, of course they love Lando, but
They boo me sometimes. I've been booed publicly and shamed for liking Max
that's
over
right.
Lando.
That's right. Well,
Yeah, it was interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah.
well, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But McLaren, I think, shouldn't get involved, and maybe they're thinking this is fair because Lando's been with the team
Sure.
for longer, so. We don't want to give the first drivers' championship to Oscar Piastri, who's a rookie in the team.
Basically, yeah.
I think that's what it's coming down to. It's
Yeah.
like we owe Lando for the time, but Lando's got to drive. Lando's got to prove it himself. And
right.
with them putting the thumb on the scale, that doesn't work.
Right.
And I feel like everybody sees through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I can't count the number of memes that were made about that from a
yeah.
few weeks ago, and it'll
Right.
continue as well,
Yeah.
I think, unless you're a Lando fan. I think everybody else in the world's going to go,
Yeah,
it's just not fair.
right. Again, and if say Lando wins this championship, they're going to come back to Monza. They're going to come back to Singapore.
Right.
Well, it wasn't fair. Yeah, he got helped. He
Yeah.
basically got given the championship because of what reason? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I would love to see Piastri just put his foot down. And the next time anything happens, it's a no. Would you, give him the place? No. Let him pass.
No.
My mic isn't working.
Uh-huh.
One of those situations.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
And I will say this, though. Lando's car all weekend long was the faster car. Like, he drove that car faster than Piastri.
Yeah.
Didn't in qualifying. He made a couple of little mistakes here and there, but overall, like, he was. And his car was performing better, but still.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a couple races left. I'm interested to see what Piastri does. I hope Piastri takes it. I'd love to see Verstappen come back and just challenge him.
Greatest comeback of all time.
It would be a very good comeback for sure. And he's totally capable of it. Nobody would be surprised.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, it would be a great comeback. It's just expected. It's expected for him to win. If
I know,
Max is in a
but-
car, he has the
Yes.
potential.
That's true. Every single race.
Every single race.
Great. Such greatness.
Yes. But so we have Christian Horner in the news as well, Craig. Yeah. So it was said that he was in talks with Haas.
Really?
But apparently nothing happened a little bit before Singapore because likely Gene Haas doesn't want to, give up the equity, give up the money. And we know from his resume that he's, he can ask for a lot, right?
Right.
And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And when you think about it, the window or the opportunity of teams that could use his services, I'm sure any of them would want him. I just don't think anybody could afford him, right? You're talking about maybe an Audi, a Ferrari, Alpine, probably the cleanest direction for him to go. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things like, does F1 want Christian Horner?
I mean, that's an interesting question.
He's great.
Yeah.
He did wonderful things, and he's a good character. He's a good villain, even. But does F1 need him?
Yeah, that's true. Do they? At this point, gosh, I mean, any team, he has a great resume. Can he carry that over to another team? Most likely, yes. Is it a fit for those other teams? Like when you're talking Alpine, you're talking Haas, maybe Haas, but like you said, control would have to be given up. I don't know if they're ready for that yet. They probably feel like they're moving in the right direction, that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think that F1, there might be a little bit of remembering the sexual allegation scandal, and some of the teams, they may remember that. They may not say anything about it, but in the back of their mind, they may think about that. Fair, not fair.
Right. Yep.
Whatever the case may be, but those are things that anybody's going to have to consider. So, yeah.
That's right. They have short memories. Flavio Briatore's back, so
yeah, that's
it's
true.
Fine.
That's true. I think it's probably fine, but yeah.
And I think that's probably the team where he'd be most accepted, culture, and all,
right?
right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know if he'd want to live in France and be based there, but
maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
So Carlos Sainz was in the news recently for mentioning that F1 might be getting a little out of control with the cutaways for their girlfriends.
Okay.
So do you think that possibly the girlfriends are getting a lot or maybe way too much airtime on the broadcasts?
I don't think that they're getting too much airtime. I think it's kind of cool that they switch over to the families and to the girlfriends. And to other people that are in the in the pit, but at the same time, like we're seeing this just on the filming, just on the show.
Right.
We're not seeing really like what's happening after the fact and how this may play out. Maybe they're getting a lot of paparazzi. Maybe they're getting a lot of other comments and things like that. I think that they're probably overall the benefit for them socially is pretty high. I might be wrong on that, but I would think that it is. If he's saying something about it, maybe there's more to this than what meets the eye, because his significant other is this international supermodel, I believe.
Rebecca Donaldson.
Yes, yeah. Rebecca Donaldson. So, so I would think that there's something else there that's going on.
That's a very good point. Mm-hmm. Okay, my take on this, Craig.
Yes.
About the girlfriends in the F1 paddock. I feel that airtime is very expensive. Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to be cutting away to them, you would think that the F1 teams would just give them kits and have them wear their sponsors.
That's true.
Or have them wear, have a dedicated, F1 fashionista sponsored girlfriend set up with clothing, right? Like
that's a gold mine waiting to happen.
Tommy Hilfiger, for example, with Lewis Hamilton or whatever, where they're just wearing. I mean, I think it's a missed opportunity for them to be getting so much airtime. Sometimes every other lap they're getting filmed.
That's a great point.
So they're in the garage, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the time watching the broadcast, trying not to smile when they're getting filmed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, okay, we're seeing them. And yes, the emotion of their reaction to their family members driving these cars or their boyfriends driving these cars is something that's visceral, right? You feel that too sometimes, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity and kind of a waste of airtime to not be
No, it is.
thinking from
It's from a businessman's perspective.
a
yeah.
businessman's
It
perspective.
really is.
Exactly.
Like I would assume that they're wearing. Yeah, I would assume that they're doing something that's where they're sponsored by this or that. But that seems like an awesome opportunity. Yeah, I think that's a
Right,
good
probably
point.
probably for themselves, right? For their own brands and things, but I'm talking about the F1 teams,
Yes,
right?
yes, like the F1
Yeah.
teams and actually using so any of the brands sponsorship that they have, and then
Exactly.
they kit that person out. Whether it's whether
Or even a
it's,
team kit. you
yeah,
know?
either a team kit or it's a specific brand, fashion brand, and then they can advertise for that.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's the way to go.
right?
I know, man. I'd be down for that if I was in. Do you want to
Right.
want me to support Louis Vuitton?
Well, yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, what other
Everything has a price,
what,
but I do
what
have
other
boundaries.
employer allows your girlfriend to come in to your workplace? You know what I mean? And get filmed at
Yeah.
every
Well, I talked to my employer about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so some Cadillac updates.
Mm-hmm.
We have Pietro Fittipaldi,
Okay.
a couple-time F1 starter.
Mm-hmm.
He is a simulator driver for Cadillac now, so that's pretty cool. Colton Herta.
Yeah.
The
I always
Mexican
wanna
in
say
me,
Huerta,
yeah, the Mexican in me
not.
wants to say Huerta.
Yeah.
Herta.
It's pronounced Herta.
Yeah, is a development driver for them,
Nice.
and turns out that Bottas won't be able to actually do any of the work for them until January 1st. So I
little
think everybody
contract
was
deal.
contract deal because he's still a reserve driver for Mercedes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
So it's
excited
not because
to
he's still out like doing the windboard thing with the suit, and
right,
waving
right,
the American flag.
exactly, not
Yeah.
because of
Okay.
that, but
okay. Well, then
yeah.
I can understand.
I think there
that
are
then.
some responsibilities they are giving him. They're
Yeah.
just not giving him a whole lot. Obviously,
Yeah.
can't be employed with two people at once.
Yeah.
And so we had Ferrari in the news, and for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Let's talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So let's first talk about Hamilton.
That. Okay. So
Do you want to?
Sure. So Lewis Hamilton has had an interesting, a rough couple of weeks, I think. His longtime dog Roscoe passed away, and so that's a rough one there. But one of the cool things that's happened, of course, he's got a lot of support from people coming out. Anybody that has had a pet and has had to go through that empathizes. But one of the cool things, somebody gave him a portrait of Roscoe, and it was made out of Legos.
Oh.
So yeah, it was really cool. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like larger than life size portrait
Nice.
that they made. So it was pretty cool. So he's got that. But we get to the race this week. Side note, he had an awesome helmet. Like normally his helmet's like yellow. This time it was gold. Really cool
Yeah.
looking under the lights. So, but he had a great race, sort of. Everybody's talking about Lewis Hamilton. Hey, is this going to be the time? Is he going to take pole first time ever? Blah, blah, blah. No, he doesn't. He did in Q2. He had the fastest time in Q2, but not able to carry that over. During the race, he had some really good stuff happen. He also had some bad stuff happen. And really good stuff being he had the fastest lap. So he has extended his streak for 16 years in a row. So the longest was Schumacher. So he's surpassed that. So that's pretty awesome for him. And then he also had some other weird stuff going on. He was driving pretty well, and then all of a sudden he had some fire coming out from his front left brake. And you can see it on some of the video, but basically had a brake failure. And it was right at the very end of the race. I think the next 2 or 3 laps, he goes without brakes and he cuts over the chicanes and everything. And there's nobody that's right in front of him. And so he ends up getting like a 5-second penalty, I think drops a place or so. The question is like, with him doing that, is that really the right thing to do? Was it not? In my mind, I'm like, yeah, because his options are he could not finish because his brakes are shot.
Yeah.
or he does what he did and takes some penalties. And I think he was fine in that. I think if it was a situation where he was causing other drivers to be in danger, then that's a little bit different issue. But since nobody was right by him,
Well, that's the
I think
controversy.
it was fine.
That's
Yeah.
the controversy, isn't it? That you're driving without brakes or not proper working brakes, and that's not insignificant. That's pretty intense.
I mean, yeah.
Like, should they
front
have
brakes.
retired him?
They
I know it
could
was so
have.
close to the end of the race, but
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I think what he did was I would have done as well. I think anybody would have done that.
Yeah.
But is it safe? Probably not.
I
I
disagree.
mean, ask Fernando Alonso.
Okay.
He got mad.
Yes.
Did
no,
you
no,
hear?
I didn't
yeah,
see what he
so
said. What did Fernando say
he
about
said
this?
he was like, I cannot effing believe it. Sometimes they try to disqualify me for no mirror. Is it safe to drive without brakes? And so you can tell, like, there is a difference with how stewards,
Yes.
apply the rules sometimes. And is 5 seconds enough for that? Should they have disqualified him? You think of all these things, but also you can't make up your own racetrack. It's you know what I mean? And it's a street race, so it's like you can't just go off either. You have to take certain, you got to be on the racing line at some point. So it was a little up in the air. It's questionable enough that he got away with it, but don't ask Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, no. Hey, man. I mean, there are specific rules in every race, and if you follow those rules,
Yeah.
then you follow those rules. And there's also specific penalties for not following those rules.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Was it safe? Was it not safe? If there are other cars around him, yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah.
If there's nobody around him,
Yeah.
it's only not safe for him. I mean, honestly,
No, I mean,
I'm okay with that.
It shows courage, really,
Yeah.
driving without 100% brakes. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like, if this was even like Lawson doing this, I'd still be okay with that.
You'd be very okay with
I'd be
that.
very
So would I.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so Ferrari's also in the news. Stop it, Greg. Ferrari's also in the news for there's some rumors that there's a little bit of discontent in the garage,
that's
right?
true.
You've got apparently some engineers not very happy with Charles Leclerc, and they're saying more or less that his criticisms have been kind of ongoing with the SF25, and it's like, okay, well, is it him or is it the car? Is it helpful to be so critical of this car?
Yeah.
Is it Fred Vasseur? And so kind of opening up a lot of questions, especially imagine in the Italian media. But not good news for Ferrari. Also in the news, Craig, their stock went down
Really?
last week, 15%.
What?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, so their stock went down because of a disappointing earnings guidance, and apparently they have slower revenue and earnings potential, reduced EV ambitions because of, I guess, a lot of people aren't actually buying EVs
Right.
as initially anticipated. So they were looking to do like 40% of their cars to be EV, and now they're only thinking 20 by 2030. So, in weak shareholder returns. So, I mean, people aren't buying luxury vehicles right now, and we can talk about why that's the case, but
Right.
not the podcast for this, but
Right.
for this topic. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that you can wipe out 15% of a company's worth or value basically in a day.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I'm
crazy.
sure the F1 team doesn't help, right? Like, I would almost want to measure McLaren's, sales right now against Ferrari's and see, is it an F1 effect that you got to win? And if you win, you sell cars, and that's how you stay afloat, right?
It might be.
I mean, it's romantic to have a Ferrari, right? It's the ideal for many, but if they're not winning,
If the car doesn't ever, if their vehicle doesn't ever win races, other than Max Verstappen on the
Unless you put a Max
Red Bull
Verstappen. Well,
livery.
maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need a Max Verstappen in their car.
Yeah. Well, or Red Bull livery, one or the other. But but yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
it is kind of strange. Like, you think, I mean, I go back to my childhood. I used to always have a Ferrari poster on my wall. It was like a 6-foot long poster. It was glorious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it is.
It is sad. And I think too, like, winning cures all. You start winning races,
100%.
cures it all. And that's basically what they need. And they haven't had that success, and they've had complaints this year. Everybody was looking for Lewis Hamilton to possibly win some stuff, and all that he's won is a sprint race at the beginning of the season. So everybody's like, oh, it's just a sprint race.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, that's good. But yeah. So yeah. They need to step it up some.
Agreed. So the USGP is next week, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have predictions for that?
I do.
Great. What are they?
My prediction is Max Verstappen will win.
Okay.
He'll also come in second and third. No.
Okay.
That's how good he's going to do. No, he's going to win, and then we're going to see Piastri is going to come back. He's going to have his own rules. No papaya rules this time.
Yeah, it's going to be Piastri rules.
Piastri rules.
Okay.
And he's going to come into second. And then George Russell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Mercedes. Like,
I know.
Who are they?
Well, yeah.
How did they win?
They actually had a great weekend. For
okay.
them. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Antonelli
yeah, they're
looked-
still around.
Yeah, Antonelli looked really good for Antonelli. He was like, there were some times where he looked like he was totally out of control, and he was able to keep it. But
All right. My predictions, Craig, for the USGP is Max, Piastri, Leclerc.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
Max, Piastri, Leclerc.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we'll
Leclerc's
see.
had a lot of good times there.
Well, yeah. I mean, we just talked about how they're not doing
Yeah.
that great, but
You never know.
I always have to I feel like I have to have a Ferrari in there because you never know.
Yeah, there is that one cool video of him when he won there. It's and it's aerial shots of him driving at sunset, and they're playing Skyfall.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. You guys should look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I got.
That's what I have too, Craig.
Yeah. All right. Well, good times. So
Yeah.
So it was fun, Daniel.
Yeah, it was.
Good times.
It was good.
Yes.
Good catching up with you, Craig.
It's good catching up with you
Yeah.
too. And so, guys and ladies and gentlemen, listeners of the world,
Like, comment, subscribe.
do all those good things that you like to do on your platforms. We love to hear from you and love to comment back. So whatever you're doing out there, stay passionate, have a wonderful time, and we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully you'll hear from us soon.
Thanks,
All
Craig.
right. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.